Happy birthday, Joseph Joestar! No warning today, no notes. This message is just to point out our favorite fussy grandpa was born on September 27th, 1920, which means this episode is coming out on his 101st birthday. Nice! Gamers rise up. This is Bizarre Podcast Dogs Must Die. My name is Grant. You can call him Chip. And we are back to 3 episodes at a time, of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as we rocket to the conclusion of Stardust Crusaders today, talking about episodes 40 through 42.
The instant it's time to actually go into Dio's mansion, it feels like everything just gets cranked up real hard, real fast. Yeah, so where we left off was the whole gang standing at the threshold to the Dio's mansion, not wanting to go in because obviously you're going to get sucked up if you walk in. There's bound to be traps.
Oh yeah, bound to be.
And we had this butler with Marge Simpson's hair greeting us.
Yes, you were right. It is definitely a tall green beehive held in place by a headband.
Yeah. This butler introduces himself by throwing a playing card at everybody, introducing himself as Darby. He is the younger brother of Darby, Terrence Darby.
Yes, I should say that episode 40 is titled Darby the Player Part 1, so this is Darby the Player. I guess he cheats on the other Darby sister-in-law. I don't know.
He's got earrings that say TD as in his name. In Japanese, he's more frequently referred to as Darby Younger.
Which does come up a few times, not often, but a few times in the English as well.
Okay.
Polnareff greets him by saying, "I don't know who you are, but you're definitely not normal."
Yeah.
Which is something he says to flying butlers and his own reflection.
Younger Darby has kind of like the inverse of his brother's weird, like, platinum sideburns. It goes down the center of his face now, like his forehead and his nose.
Forehead, nose, chin, yeah.
Yeah.
But he also has a heart motif. He's got a big heart on his chest, his shoulders. So essentially, introductions are being made. That's the whole first scene. We're being very polite, as butlers are meant to do, I suppose. And they're all like, "Hey, we killed your brother. What do you think about that?" And he does not care.
Yeah, he gives no shits. Like, he stresses it, just like, well, I mean, he is my brother, so there is some sort of, like, respect I have for him to an extent, but also, I'm not him, so who cares?
Yeah, like, both Darbys share this real winner-take-all sort of thing, like a sort of might makes right outlook, and one benefit of that is vengeance is obsolete. Like, why should I give a fuck?
Yeah.
So instead he talks about his relationship with his brother. It turns out there wasn't much of one. They're 10 years apart. He's talking about the effects of this generation gap. And there is horrible panning and cutting.
Yes!
It's so distracting that I thought they were like setting up something or hoped they were setting up something to pay off later. But they don't. It just sucks.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this until I was watching it last night. So yeah, it's panning, far away shot of everybody just standing at the front of the mansion, panning to the left.
And it just loops with this hard cut for no reason.
Yeah, panning to the left, and like the way it teleports back to the right and pans in the other direction kept making me think that they were like reflecting, like mirroring the shot. So I like went back to see like, oh, does everybody flip what side they're on? It's like, no, they don't. Yeah, because it really feels like it's meant to be like, ooh, there's some weird like reality bending thing happening or something, considering the fact that the hallway that Darby is in right now, it stretches on for infinity. Like, I thought they were doing something with that, and it's like, no. It's just like a really bad animation saving thing.
Yes. Yeah. They're just moving the camera to create visual interest on a still image, and then scene keeps going. Do it again.
Yeah. Ugh. It feels bad. It feels very, very bad and disorienting.
So another difference between the two Darbys is that Deception is for old fogies. Being 10 years younger, this Darby is all about honesty, forthrightness, and that's why Dio and him roll deep. You know, Dio is down with the Pepsi generation.
This is where everyone gets super fed up with Darby. You know, we don't have fucking time for another long ass thing like we had with the first Darby. JoJo pulls out Star Platinum, is going to get ready for a punch, and younger Darby starts betting. He starts doing little stupid bets like, I bet you're going to punch me with your left fist. And so JoJo goes like, that's fucking dumb. I'm going to punch you with my right fist. And as he does that, despite Star Platinum being super fast, Darby and his stand, which has just now popped out, both just like super easily dodge the punch as if they knew ahead of time which fist he's going to lead with.
The stand is named Atum. He looks very much like stands from Future Parts.
Yes. Like humanoid robot.
You talked about it with our fake genie, but I think this is where the sort of template for stand aesthetics really comes fully realized.
Yeah, this is a humanoid robot type guy. He also has a heart motif. His pecs are just big ol' hearts. His hips got hearts. His wrists got hearts.
He has a TD instead of a mouth.
Yeah.
So you know who he belongs to, I guess.
He's got like weird gas mask pipes leading from the sides of his face into his neck. He looks vaguely like based on Frieza almost.
And his ears are vents that shoot steam sometimes, and I think that's very cute.
Yeah. JoJo completely whiffs this punch. And as that happens, Darby's stand grabs Star Platinum's arm, and then just a big old void just opens up on the floor, and Darby just brings JoJo along with him into this void. Kakyoin and Joseph both try to use their stands to like grab onto JoJo and save him, but they all just get pulled down into the void, and as they're just descending into whatever this black hole is, Joseph is just screaming to Avdol and Polnareff and Iggy like, hey, if we're not back in 10 minutes, just set the whole mansion on fire. Bye. Set it on fire.
Which is a good plan. Why did you even come inside? Just set the mansion on fire.
Yeah.
It's not like it killed Dio before, but it would at least flush him out.
Yeah, totally. If you could just get him out. Like, it's still daytime right now. Like, bada bing, bada boom.
So while we transition scenes, let's go back and talk about Atum, the Egyptian god for which Atum is named. He is a creator god of a sort, considered the first thing, and he will be the last thing. He created the world by spitting, or maybe by bearing children with his shadow, or maybe just jerking it. Depending on which legends you read. The very first people were either his tears or his semen.
All right. I think it's always fun when there's like some sort of creation myth or something for whatever god, and sometimes it's just as simple as like, I cranked it into the ocean and some guys came out of it. I don't know.
So yes, he started the world and his job will be to end it.
Okay. I don't think that one super lines up with what the stand does, but also...
We were running out of Egyptian gods.
Just kind of running out, yeah.
As our party gets split, the three that got pulled down find themselves in sort of a tropical island getaway with like bright pink sky and a sandy beach and this idyllic tiny island coming out of the sea. And it seems pretty nice.
Yeah, the color palette is lovely. Yeah, everyone's marveling at how real this feels because they all think this must be some sort of illusion. Darby's offering them liquor that he super duper promises is not poisoned and is actually real. I like because like this is obviously going to be like more of Darby's gimmick like already, that everyone is just like, we really do not have time for this. So everyone's just immediately going like, we're all going to punch you at the same time. One. Two, how about before we all punch you at the same time, you just tell us all the info we need to know? Are we in the mansion? Where's Dio? How many stand users are there? Who's making the illusion? Like they're down to business right away.
This episode is entirely down to business. It doesn't even have the OP. Like we are past that point. The credits that would be in it have just been coming up on the bottom, superimposed on all this action.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of this the next many episodes. Just they can't get the normal credits or the OP in because they got a lot to cover. Joseph asking all these questions to Darby. He brings up that Speedwagon Intel says that there's another 2 or 3 stand users within the mansion itself. I've always wondered, because you were talking about, just set the mansion on fire and flush Dio out.
Yeah.
Speedwagon Foundation has a lot of resources. Couldn't we just, mortar Dio's mansion once you find it? Can't we just carpet?
Just found
I guess they just found it, and there is a severe time limit with Holly, sure. But I just keep imagining, just on a real sunny day at noon, just fucking carpet bomb that mansion. I don't know. I guess Pet Shop would just annihilate planes or whatever, but whatever.
Yes. They have anti-air defenses, or at least they did until half an hour ago.
Yeah.
While all I'm imagining is Dio, who, as we know, is all about the aesthetic, hanging out on this idyllic pink beach and just getting the hottest account on 1987 Instagram.
Yeah. So everyone's just trying to get out of this situation really fast. Darby is stressing that, hey, I'm not going to answer any of your questions, and I'm super duper going to make you fight me. There's nothing. Yeah. But not being nearly as antagonistic as older Darby. He keeps up the whole butler, very polite butler shtick.
Although in the end it is exactly the same, because he wants to play you in a game, and if your soul admits defeat, his stand has the ability to remove your soul and put it into part of his collection. However, the difference is he doesn't collect mere coins or chips or anything so passe. He collects creepy dolls.
Yeah. He makes creepy dolls that he puts the souls into, and the dolls are animated in a completely different style, and they really stick out, and it's great.
Yes, it's really good. They are essentially still images manipulated and warped.
Yeah, they're basically just using the puppet tool in After Effects. So they're tweened so they animate in every single frame as opposed to on 2s or 3s like in normal anime. They're drawn in a different style. It's great. I love it.
It's fantastic. It's incredible.
And all the dolls are alive. The souls in them can barely communicate. So all these puppets are just kind of shaking and crying and sobbing and shit.
He shows off some of his favorites. There's a lady one and a serial killing doctor that he's got. And then there's one that he shows off that has 10 chin piercings and an Xbox 360 controller.
Yeah. And that doll specifically is a gaming expert he defeated that has an IQ of 190. But yeah, I checked the panel for that, and yeah, he is obviously not holding anything remotely like that controller in the original. I always thought that was funny that he was holding a 360 controller, considering that the rest of the video game paraphernalia you see in this is more of the era. Yeah, Darby wants to play, and we're gonna bet our souls, all that stuff again. He's already got one reason why everyone just can't straight up attack them, and that is when he touched Jotaro's arm, he detached his stand's hand, and now it is fused with JoJo's arm, underneath the skin. So he has a big hand-shaped skin bulge on his arm, and at any moment he could just have the hand just snap JoJo's arm in half, basically.
I believe he introduces this wrinkle by exclaiming, "But first, listen to what I have to say."
Yeah.
Which is basically the subtitle of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah. You could punch me, but aren't you curious? Don't you just want to know?
My favorite thing about this is how bad Joseph just wants to punch him.
Yeah.
Joseph wishes he had a fucking gun.
Yeah. Where's Whole Horse when you need him?
But I don't think we've mentioned it before, but not only does Darby Younger have a creepy doll collection, he's a gamer. And I'm with Joseph on this one. Just shoot him. Just kill him dead.
So we're basically going to do the same thing we did with the first Darby, but this time instead of card games and gambling, it is going to be making stupid bets on video games. Yeah,
Araki invented esports. Here we go, baby. Let's go.
Around the time this part of the manga came out, I believe the Super Nintendo had just come out.
Yes, it did. I checked for reasons that will become clear.
Yeah. Going through all the reasons why they can't just punch him right away, and it's essentially the same thing as Darby is. My stand could just blow up JoJo's arm at any second now, and also, hey, if I steal any of your souls and you try to kill me, those souls just go away forever, just like with the other Darby.
So it's time to choose our opponent, who will choose the game. Darby wants to fight Kakyoin. Big mistake. Kakyoin is obviously a huge gamer. Just look at him.
Yeah. The MILF-loving gamer. Oh my god, if Kakyoin had a gamer tag, it would be just like MILF Lover 420 or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's the only guy on Xbox Live to call me slurs, but in Sanskrit or some shit. Like,
Kakyoin is the dude wearing the headset in the 360 era where he's not doing your mom jokes, but just asking people, how hot is your mom?
Oh god! So yeah, it's time for Kakyoin to pick his poison. I'm like, come on, Dr. Mario, come!
Oh my god,
do it! But we see the spread of games. Like these are obviously Famicom cartridges.
Yeah.
At least that is their design. Although the titles that we see include, "Oh, that's a baseball."
Yes, I've been waiting for
2 exclamation points.
I've been waiting for so long to finally get to, "Oh, that's a baseball."
Pac-Landy 2.
Yeah, which you can see the fake Pac-Man. It just looks like Pac-Man drawn in the Oingo Boingo style, kinda.
Yeah. And F Mega.
Yes, yeah, F Mega.
And so as Kakyoin peruses these selections, he says, hey, don't worry, I've got this. Quote, I've probably played more video games than anyone else here. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Hell yes, he has. But really, I think he just feels left out of the last Soul game because nobody told him he was a wager.
God, yeah, I was thinking about this when watching this last night, that, like, Kakyoin has barely, rejoined the group, and it's been a real busy time since then, so he probably has not yet learned that JoJo fucking bet his soul when he was in the fucking hospital.
But yeah, he's itching for a turn. He just got back. Let's go. First fight, really, is a Kakyoin fight after he rejoins, so there you go. And so now it's time for serious gamer hours, so he takes off his cool Speedwagon glasses.
Joseph is like the ref for this video game esport battle. He's using Hermit Purple and like Hamon to send his stand into the carts and the controllers and the game's console itself to check if they've been rigged, and he can determine they are all clean.
The controllers. We have to talk about these controllers.
Oh,
because
yeah.
It's D-pad and 4 buttons. Very, very classic. But it looks like a whole-ass boomerang. The handles that extend diagonally from the 2 halves of the controller are so long.
It looks like one of those really shitty third-party controllers you buy that you give to your shitty little brother or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just noticed looking at it that they actually have shoulder buttons too, but there's 2 on each end of the controller.
Araki can see the future. He knows what's coming.
Yeah, but they're just, they're not like stacked on top of each other. They just go along the length of each side of the controllers. They look really fucking hard to reach. The buttons and D-pad are at the very ends of each end of the boomerang, and then there's a start and select button all the way up in the fucking middle of this boomerang. It's like, yeah, basically imagine like the original PS3 boomerang controller, but instead of it being curved, it's just straight. It's really angular. It looks like a nightmare to hold.
They get ready to begin. They take their places as Atum and Hierophant Green become gamer chairs.
Yes! Yeah.
They both kind of look like gamer chairs, and now the destiny is fulfilled.
Yeah. And this is from here on out, because we're going to be just watching a lot of the actual video game. We're going to get a lot of CG in this.
Yeah, we are.
So I very heavily associate this part of the fight with Disney World, because I was reading this part in the manga for the first time as I was going to fucking Disney World. So that's fun every time I watch this part. They're picking their cars.
Yes, because they picked F Mega. F Mega is very clearly an F-Zero inspired thing, although the cars are more traditional, not flying, open-wheeled racers, like an F1 car, like an Indy car.
Yeah, with spikes on the hubcaps. So yeah, they're picking their different cars. Kakyoin picks a green one. Darby's picking car number 15 because that's his birthday.
January 5th, so 1-5.
And so yeah, it's just time to start playing F-Zero.
Treating regular competitions the way you would treat a stand fight is very funny.
Yes.
But for it to be video games just slays me.
I love this whole fight because they went really hard in like just the presentation of them playing this video games, because it feels like one of the most intense stand fights we've seen so far, and it's just them playing F-Zero. Just like the music, the way the music is timed, the way how hard the music goes, and like when a big ass orchestra kicks in when somebody does something cool in the video game.
They're playing F Mega.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with F-Zero, the tie-in game for the Super Nintendo that in Japan that every Japanese Super Nintendo owner would also own.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's counting down, and we see Darby's stand's fingers, come out and start hitting the buttons instead, and just jamming on, button mashing, furiously turbo tapping to build up a turbo boost.
Yeah. It's just, the thing you see in racing, a lot of racing games, where if you start hitting accelerate at a certain point in the countdown, you get a boost rate at the start.
And Kakyoin's like, oh man, it's too late. I've already lost because I'm not charging a turbo boost already.
Yeah.
I thought you were good at this game, buddy.
Yeah, what the? So yeah, Darby starts off with a boost. He's like a full car length ahead.
Although there is a shot where they're neck and neck immediately after the turbo boost.
Yeah.
It's a quick one, but like...
Yeah. Every time Kakyoin is trying to go around Darby and try to gain the lead, Darby just steers in front of him, just blocking him so he can never pass him. Everyone's stand is a turbo controller for this fight. So like, okay, well, Kakyoin can't pass, so he decides to pull out one of his secret gamer moves that he knows. And... fucking he does a cool pose with the controller, and Hierophant Green comes out and with its index finger starts doing circles on the D-pad hyper fast, which causes
his car to do like the spin attack move from later F-Zeros that's not in the first F-Zero. He invents it doing manual inputs.
Yeah. And so he does this cool spin move and attacks Darby's car with it, and it does damage to his vehicle. They both spin out, and it kind of just resets the race, so they both have to start from zero again. So they're neck and neck.
And this whole thing is just playing a video game with commentary occasionally from either the players or mostly the players, because JoJo doesn't really talk much, and Joseph doesn't know shit about this game.
Joseph is very hyped whenever Kakyoin is doing good, though.
Absolutely.
He's a great cheerleader. Should mention, this also just straight up has the power, like, health bar mechanic from F-Zero in it. So, like, because Kakyoin did that big slam move, he's lost some power. They update the HUD and everything.
Now, the way to defeat Darby is you trick him into supporting the Hong Kong protests. And then he's eliminated from competition.
Yep. Yeah, can't have that. Don't do that, Darby. Yeah, Joseph's really excited because, like, they're neck and neck. Kakyoin just did that cool move. That's pretty hype. Thanks for subbing, Joseph. But Jotaro comes in and goes like, oh, the setup right now isn't as good as it looks because they're coming up on the first turn and Kakyoin is on the outside of that turn. And, he's going full speed. It's going to be real hard to make that turn on the outside. They start turning at full speed and his car's staying on the track just barely, like on two wheels.
Around this time, we see the creepy doll that Darby has already made for Kakyoin's soul in advance.
Yeah.
A doll that could only be made by a hater. Like, this is...
It's not a flattering...
This is a slanderous doll.
Yeah, how dare you do this about my MILF-loving boy.
It's got tiny beady eyes, and its mouth is all wrinkled and shriveled. It's fucked up.
Don't slander my boy like this. So yeah, as Kakyoin is playing this video game... Darby commends Kakyoin for conquering his fears and being able to stay cool while playing this dangerous video game.
Which triggers the sort of flashback that tells me he's about to die forever. It is that kind of flashback.
Yeah, he's thinking about, oh, I've conquered my fears, huh? I haven't always been this way. And he, get a flashback to 6 months ago when he first meets Dio, and he gets brainwashed by him by getting the flesh bud in him and stuff. And it's very similar to, the situation that Avdol barely escaped, where Dio's just being very charming, whispering sweet nothings into Kakyoin's ear and all this shit. It's a really cool looking scene because there's this big fucking red ass moon right behind Dio and stuff. It looks cool.
Yeah. He has Pet Shop with him too.
Yeah.
He's got a friend.
Pet Shop made like a little bird perch out of ice in the background.
Kakyoin's great shame that he's finally moved past is the fear that allowed him to be conquered by Dio, because Dio inspired terror and then comforted him, which is like the sort of emotional betrayal of his true self that allowed the flesh bud to take root and make him a minion. So now he's stronger. He's developed past that, and he's gonna race really good.
Yeah. I just love the transition from him thinking about this stuff, and then it just goes back to him like scowling at this screen. this fucking F-Zero game he's playing.
This whole flashback kind of feels like saying, yeah, that bit of the narration last week, I know that felt kind of out of place. Here's where I was coming from with that. Let's sort of backfill that's where that was. Like, oh, okay, now it works. Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah. It came in later than, it optimally should, but it's there and it works.
What sort of gamer do we think everyone in the crew is? Kakyoin obviously had him pegged as exactly the kind of gamer he is. I want to say Joseph is the sort of person that kept them from calling it Puckman in the US. He would be vandalizing those machines.
Yeah. Jotaro only plays Mahjong video games.
I was going to say Avdol is a huge Tetris head.
Yeah, he's actually a Tetris master. He can do the whole invisible Tetris thing. Like, he's good at that. Polnareff plays exclusively hentai dating novels.
Polnareff wants to rescue the tiny men that live inside the box.
Yeah. Polnareff is the number one guy, all those fucking fake mobile game ads where you have to pull the pins to save the guy or get the treasure. That's Polnareff downloads every single free mobile app he sees.
Polnareff lost his entire life savings to gacha.
Yeah. I don't know. Joseph also seems like a dude who would be into gacha stuff. He just seems like a guy who likes to collect things.
100%.
So, yeah. Joseph plays a gacha game made for old guys that's like from a really old manga series that nobody but old guys like remembers anymore or something. But yeah, I just can't imagine Jotaro playing many video games except for like occasionally Mahjong or like one of the most popular releases that comes out every year. He's the Call of Duty and Madden guy.
I can also see Kakyoin getting real into like hardcore dating sims that require you to keep like a huge spreadsheet in order to find the optimal path.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Kakyoin's a min-maxer. He doesn't... he goes in with a strategy guide for his first playthrough. He doesn't want to miss anything.
He has caught them all.
Yeah. Kakyoin has 3 Game Boys to trade between, yeah.
So back to the race. There's yet another obstacle that we must face. There's a tunnel coming up that is only 1 car wide.
Yeah.
And it is vitally important because at the end of this tunnel is a speed boost. So you got to get to that first to maximize your lead. In a normal race, it might not be entirely vital, but for these 2 absolute pixel perfect players, it's going to make all the difference.
So yeah, they're going in. They're both neck and neck, and so they're both going to crash if it keeps up like this. And Kakyoin is trying to push Darby aside, but because he did that cool spin move earlier, he lost some of his power, and so now he has less pushing power than Darby does. So Darby's able to easily push him out of the way and get the lead into the tunnel. And it looks like Kakyoin's about to crash, but Kakyoin, the good gamer boy, pulls out another cool move.
And Joseph goes wild again?
Yeah.
Because he has gone up Did you know that Men in Black was inspired by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yeah.
Because Kakyoin's car is driving on the roof of the tunnel.
Yeah, he does like a quick like left, right, left on the D-pad, goes up on two wheels and starts just driving on the fucking wall and ceiling.
Which is a thing that would technically be possible in a Formula One racer.
Mm-hmm.
See, the wings, the spoilers in front and rear are there to create downforce to increase traction on the wheels, right?
Right.
And they create more downforce than the car weighs. So if you were up to proper speed and had the right sort of corkscrew ramp to get upside down, those wings would instead be creating a lift that forces the car onto an upside down road.
Whoa. I want to see that happen.
Yeah.
I want to see the guy dressed as Kakyoin while he does that.
Yeah.
We have to get a suitably buff 16-year-old.
So this tunnel, of course, is not going to be the last of our many, many obstacles, because now that we're in the tunnel, we get to describe the most bizarre and heinous difficulty spike I've ever heard of.
This racetrack, this part of the racetrack is fucking bullshit.
This is some, like, quarter-munching bullshit design.
Yeah, this tunnel is pitch fucking black. You can't see your cars while you're racing in this portion of the racetrack. And on top of being pitch black, there is a single landmine planted somewhere in the tunnel. And at a certain point, there is a cannon that appears and shoots and fires shots at you.
Still somehow less bullshit than Mighty Bomb Jack, a real video game.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So that's our cliffhanger. The two of them are racing by memory in this absolute pitch black invisible tunnel.
Yeah. God.
As we move on to episode 41, Darby the Player Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get back into it, now I think it's a good time to mention that young Darby's English voice is the current Smash Brothers announcer.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god, I did not know that. That rules.
He's the perfect gamer stand fight.
Oh my god. I'm switching to English real quick to hear how this guy sounds. Can I hear the Smash announcer?
The Japanese VA, nothing quite so appropriate, though he was sung in Final Fantasy VII.
Wow, yeah, that does sound a little bit like the Smash announcer.
Yeah.
Oh, that rules. Yeah, they're in the tunnel. The cannon attack happens. They're both out loud counting down 3, 2, 1 to the cannon appearing and firing its shot, and they both dodge it. And this game console has some really good graphics for the time. It's got real-time dynamic lighting because the cannon shot as it passes down the tunnel briefly illuminates everything so you can see where the cars are. Like,
yeah, this isn't a racing game. It is a full physics simulator.
Yeah,
that just happens to have cars in it.
Mm-hmm. You know, you see both cars briefly, and then they shoot out of the tunnel. They're airborne. Darby is a full car length ahead, and oh shit, that sucks. You know, he's got the double speed boost. There's no way to catch up now.
Except it's the perfect moment for Kakyoin's secret move. He again manually executes a spin attack.
Yeah, and he smashes into Darby, who has less power than Kakyoin right now because he was desperately bumping into Kakyoin in the tunnel trying to just get him even slightly behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just launches Darby's car off the track.
Seemingly into oblivion.
Yeah. And like we're getting like the really cool, like the heroes are doing something badass music that played like during like the fucking hangman fight near the end. Like it's that track. So it really feels like Kakyoin's, doing good. But unfortunately, Darby knows about the Rainbow Road skip. That's what this is. He purposefully lost power so that Kakyoin would pull off the spin attack move and hit him. But he got hit in a way where he's basically catapulting Darby's car across the track down to a lower portion. It's a big track skip.
He goes from one length ahead to half the track ahead.
Yeah.
In this race. He says, quote, "In your hubris, you didn't realize I planned for you to knock my car off course." Yeah. Which is something a JoJo parody would say.
Yeah. Darby is just way ahead. Kakyoin is trying to race and catch up, but he's been too shaken by this. And just like with the previous Darby fight, even though he's still trying to race, his soul has admitted defeat, and so his soul just shoots out of his body
and gets grabbed by the neck by Darby's stand and shoved into this evil fuck puppet. I'm saying the puppet is an evil fuck. I'm not saying that it is a fuck puppet.
Okay. So, yeah, Kakyoin's body has just gone limp. Sucks that the first fight Kakyoin comes back to, he gets fucking owned, but at least he did at least he put in the Konami code a couple times. That was cool.
This is so Darby again that it would feel like it would feel cheap and if they didn't acknowledge it by making the stand user a second Darby, the brother of Darby.
Yeah.
It feels very much like, that was a really good one. That was a fun one. What if but I got some notes.
Yeah.
What if instead of a cheater, he was just that good at the games?
Yeah. Darby is once again reiterating, like, hey, don't fucking punch me. All these souls would just perish along with me. Time to play some more video games to try and win back Kakyoin's soul.
JoJo volunteers. It's his turn to come up, which Joseph does not support. He says, quote, we should be kicking Geppetto's ass.
Yeah.
That is a dub-only line, so that's another reason you should...
Oh, that's a good line.
It's so good.
So yeah, as JoJo sits down, Joseph's like, Jotaro, have you even played any of these games? And the camera pans over the stack of Famicom cards again, and we see one other new game here that is called
Zess? Spelled with X's?
Yeah.
It looks like it's probably some kind of shmup.
Yeah.
It sounds like the name of an Atari shmup, actually.
It looks like it'd probably be one of those top-down shmups and not like a Gradius or anything like that. It might be more like a Xevious or something. But yeah, Joseph's really worried about this, and JoJo's just telling him, like, hey, fucking let me handle this. We're not playing cards or Hanafuda or any old man shit. I'm picking, that's a baseball.
Yep, it's time for, that's a baseball. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Take me out to That's a Baseball.
So as they agree on the game, Darby goes, okay, so that you could play the game and, I'll be all honorable and shit, I will remove my stand's hand from your arm.
Yeah, you could have just asked him to let go. That's how against cheating he is.
Yeah.
Cheating is his brother's thing.
Yeah.
We should mention Kakyoin's doll is not inside the doll cabinet,
no.
But instead sitting on a little shelf next to, like in front of, so he gets to watch.
Yeah. And so they plug in the that's a baseball cart, and we get to see the title screen, and this is a delight to watch either with the Japanese or English dub, because you get to hear the video game announcer go, that's a baseball. Or, in the Japanese one, it's a little more mangled than that. And they're both very fun to hear.
That's a baseball!
Again, Joseph suggests literally just killing him right here and saying Kakyoin knew what he was getting into.
Yeah.
Like, he's very literally not here to play games.
Yeah. I love the that's a baseball part, because we get to see so many different bits of like fake video game menus, which I'm always very entertained by. They're selecting
so first you have to select your That's a Baseball team. We have the Jaguars, the Firefoxes, the Bears Tears, or Bears Tears?
Bears Tears. By the way, the little mascot for Bears Tears looks like fucking Stimpy. It's just Stimpy. From Ren and Stimpy. Like...
The Red Dragons, the Snow Falcons, and the Gray Cats, whose logo is cats from the Broadway show Cats.
Yeah. Also, like the little hand icons for picking, that's like pointing at each thing, kind of look like the hands from Smash Brothers, because the amount of fingers they're sticking out is related to what number player you are or whatever. I don't know.
I wish I knew more about the Japanese baseball leagues.
Yeah.
To say whether these teams are based on anything, because they sure aren't based on MLB squads.
Yeah. Darby picks the Jaguars, which in the Japanese...
JoJo picks the Jaguars.
Oh, right. JoJo picks the Jaguars. Yeah. And Darby goes with Red Dragons. And in the Japanese dub, oh, man, when the announcer... When JoJo picks Jaguars, the announcer goes, Jaggers!
Jaggers!
That's really good.
But this means that JoJo is up to bat first. I guess he's the away team in this match. This game, in a story written in, like, I think we're in 1991 now.
Yeah.
Set in, I think we're still in 1987. has not only a create a player function,
Yes.
but a tablet controller so you can just MS Paint create your player.
Yeah, Darby goes and draws the faces of both teams' players, so he just draws his and JoJo's stands. And so now, during the whole baseball game, all the players are either just Star Platinum or Atum.
There's no, like, unlimited memory. You only get to create one player, and that's your entire team. So there is some...
Yeah.
There is some motion made toward, like, the memory cap, I guess.
Yeah. I do appreciate, though, that even though this is a pretty wild feature to have for a game of this time, the stylus is a really old-ass looking stylus that's connected with a big-ass cord and everything. Like,
So as we get down to our night game in Lucky Land Stadium, there's a giant Lucky Land flag above it. We get one last bit of rules clarification. Apparently there is an 11-run mercy rule. If anyone gets ahead by 11 runs, that is an instant win. Mm-hmm. Will this come into play? No. Spoilers, it does not happen. That's not how this ends.
Yeah. Again, Darby is picking his pitcher based on his birthday, so he picks number 15. You know, it's the first pitch of the game. Darby pitches as his stand is winding up to throw the pitch. Star Platinum just immediately swings the bat way too early.
But before the ball's even left his hand, Joseph has probably never touched a video game controller in his life. He knows that this is not how you do it. He is very upset at his grandbaby.
Yeah. Before even the next pitch is thrown, like, JoJo is just not rapidly, but just very methodically just pressing the A button over and over and over again, just making Star Platinum just swing.
Which is a thing I would do all the time when playing baseball for NES.
Yeah.
I just like to swing the bat.
Yeah, man.
Also, when I was pitching, I would try to pick off batters that weren't on base and just like throw the ball around the infield, do a little infield catch practice just to see how frustrated I could make the imaginary little men on the other team.
My dad would do a similar thing when we would play double dribble together. He would just endlessly just pass back and forth, and me being like 5, I could not fucking grab the basketball. Man, they should have played a fake double dribble. That game was good.
Hell yes.
So yeah, JoJo's just swinging the bat over and over and over, just trying to get the hang of the timing of the swing. He just tells Joseph, like, I know how to play baseball. I'll figure out the controls as I go. And Joseph just, like, loses his shit. Like, you don't even fucking know how to play video games. Your swing sucks. Your timing's awful.
On the second pitch, he swings after the ball has already hit the catcher's mitt.
Yeah. He
gets 2 strikeouts in 6 pitches. Like... he is not doing so great, but then on the 8th pitch, he said, but after the 7th pitch, before the 8th one comes, he says, "Yeah, I think I got this figured out now."
Yeah, and that really freaks Darby out. Just like, what the fuck did you just say?
It shakes him to his core. He is sweating immediately. I am similarly shook because now our boy has grown to be a gamer. We've lost him forever.
Yeah, this is a dark path he's going down now. Yeah, because this whole time, Darby's been asking Jotaro, like, hey, are you just pretending to suck to freak me out? Are you going to, like, suddenly become, like ultra gamer any second now? But, like, no, Jotaro just doesn't know how to play video games. He's learning on the fly.
But now he does. So, yeah. Oh, fuck. When do we get Darby's flashback?
Right?
He has one. Is that now, or am I skipping ahead?
Oh, that's right. No, I think that's a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's only one more out before they switch. The pitch comes in, and JoJo he just nails it.
This game, as it goes on, there are 2 results for every at-bat. Strikeout or home run.
Yeah.
That's it. That is a totally binary baseball game.
Oh, excuse me. This is how the timing goes down for this. The final pitch comes in. Like, Darby has already hit the button to throw the pitch. As it's just barely leaving the pitcher's hand, that's when JoJo just says, I've basically got the hang of this now. And in slow motion, Darby's saying, like, what the fuck did he just say? What the fuck does that mean? And yeah, JoJo just nails it and gets a home run. You know, Darby just like stands up out of his chair, just fucking shaken that JoJo's actually...
The time it takes for that freak out, this is a minute-long pitch to go from the mound to the plate.
Yeah.
JoJo's right. He does have the hang of it now. He racks up 4 home runs in a row.
Yeah. Whenever a home run happens in this game, fireworks go off, and sometimes those fireworks are happening behind the actual players in real life.
Around now, Darby has to control himself, compose himself. He's got to figure out what's going on and dedicate himself to victory, which includes, more talk about his brother. He doesn't like his brother, but he sure doesn't like talking about anything but his brother.
Yeah.
Including the memory of when he was 15 and his brother started making moves on his girlfriend. Hey, Darby, you're 25. What the fuck?
Fucked up. That's fucked up, Darby.
Dude.
Darby older.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
And so younger Darby kicks his brother's ass.
Yeah, breaks his ribs and stuff. And he remembers that the last thing his older brother ever said to him was, "I'm sorry." And yeah, along with this whole flashback, he's also he brings up the fact that despite his older brother being this expert gambler who's never lost, he would never even dare play a card game with his younger brother. And he doesn't say why, but he's hinting that there's a reason why his older brother would just never dare do that with him.
Well, he answers the rhetorical question of why by telling the story of why he broke his brother's ribs.
Right.
It's because I'm too fucking tough.
Yeah.
There might be other reasons, though.
There might be other reasons.
So we get a classic, now it's serious time color shift that puts Darby in Dio's new colors.
Yes, yeah.
In the yellows and greens of Part 3 Dio.
Yeah. He's going to change out his pitcher.
Which is terribly embarrassing for the starting pitcher.
Yeah.
To not only be pulled in the first, but for any pitcher to be pulled after 12 pitches?
Yeah. But I just want to bring up, when he's switching out his pitcher, you get to see the menu and you get to see the names of these fucking pitchers. And this is basically the same thing as that NES game that runs around on Twitter every once in a while that has the really fucked up baseball player names, like Bobson Dugnut and shit like that. The pitcher that was currently out, number 15, is named Bruce Nipper.
Yeah. That's a baseball name.
The other 4 pitchers he can select from is Oil Crown, Jeff Woodward, Wes Whopper, and Joy Sambito.
I like Joy Sambito. That's a good one.
Yeah, but he doesn't go with Joy Sambito. He picks Jeff Woodward.
My name's Jeff Woodward, and I'm running for city council.
Along with that swapping out the pitcher, he's also just telling JoJo what pitch he's going to throw ahead of time.
So he announces that his next ball is going to be a forkball, which is, despite how it might sound, a real pitch.
Yeah.
A forkball is like a split-fingered fastball, so it's in the fastball family. The grip is different in that you sort of bury the ball between your first 2 fingers really deep in there.
Okay.
So I guess that's where it comes from, the name. You're really forking your fingers.
Okay.
And then there's an extra wrist snap that makes it very damaging to the pitcher's shoulder.
Oh, shit.
The forkball is kind of common in MLB play. It's really popular in the Japanese leagues. So pretty much any Japanese pitcher has had a special surgery to fix their shoulder after forkballs.
Oh, my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Damn. The forbidden technique.
So it's on the slow end of a fastball, but it has the vertical drop movement of a certain sort of curveball.
Okay.
It's called the 12-6 curveball because that's how it moves on a clock face. It's just a vertical drop.
Okay. Darby announces his pitch and is just, kind of baiting Jotaro into trying to believe, is he actually going to throw that or not? So he throws the pitch. It looks like a fastball. Joseph's really freaking out about this pitch. And Jotaro goes in to swing. He goes for a swing thinking it's going to be a forkball, and it doesn't change direction. It's just a fastball. So he just barely bops the bottom of the ball. It goes up high, and it's easily caught. That's 3 outs. Everyone's going to change.
You could have just taken the strike. You didn't have to swing.
Yeah. But Jotaro's very suspicious of this. He thinks that he already knew that he was going to swing for a forkball, even before he threw it. So that's why when he decided to switch to a fastball.
Much like being able to predict the punch back upstairs. He's got some sort of mind-reading ability or something like it.
Yeah, JoJo's really suspicious, and he's trying to figure out what exactly Darby is doing, like the mechanics behind how he's just able to know this stuff.
But now we get to the part of the game where I'm very worried, because however this game's pitching mechanics work, they must be much more complex than the batting mechanics.
Yeah.
JoJo can lose a lot of ground just trying to figure out how make ball go where I want.
Yeah, how do I do that?
How make ball go?
Jotaro has Joseph double check the console and everything to make sure it's not rigged. And, it's fine. So it's definitely got to be a stand doing something. It can do something other than just take souls.
So now it is time for JoJo to pitch, Star Platinum to pitch, because again, all of our players are the stands in the game. And so JoJo has a strategy.
Yeah.
JoJo's strategy is not to throw strikes to allow anyone to get on base or run up the score while he figures out the pitching. He'll give up a few bases if that's what it takes by intentionally hitting the batter.
Yeah.
A guaranteed person on base is, in baseball strategy, often considered preferable to whatever a batter can do if you allow them to swing. Look at all the intentional walks Barry Bonds was thrown in his career.
Yeah.
This is the same idea, but with potential for a broken hip.
Yeah. So, yeah, he aims straight at the batter. He throws the pitch, and as he throws it, the batter just leans back real hard, knows where the pitch is going already, just hits the ball hard, and gets a home run.
An impossible move in both real and video game baseball.
Yeah. This is like a fighting game move he does. Yeah. That happening confirms to Jotaro that, there's absolutely some type of mind reading going on. He already knew I was going to try and just beat him.
And like the blind bluff technique that defeated Elder Darby would work on a mind reader in a game that didn't require active inputs.
Yeah. You
can't win baseball by not pushing the buttons. Which is another way that this feels like, Darby again, but with notes, right?
So despite whatever pitch JoJo's throwing, Darby is just getting home run after home run. And Joseph is starting to sweat. He's really worrying about this. He knows, sure, there are ways normally to tell kind of what somebody might do in a game like this, just based on body language and the environment around them, blah, blah, blah. But he's really freaking out because they've never fought somebody who can just straight up read their minds.
Yeah.
And doesn't know how you even counteract something like that.
Can we talk about Star Platinum's pitching form in the windup?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Specifically, that ass.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Star Platinum has cakes in this. There is bounce a quarter off it, like, damn. He's like really popping it out too when he's throwing his pitch.
Yes. Like, we usually see him in the loincloth, but you know what? He can make pants work too.
There's got to be at least a couple people out there who saw this in animation and went like, "Whoa, this is my new thing now." Whoa.
I mean, if you want a professional sports player with a great butt, you need to get into hockey. I know you can't see it when they're playing, but trust me.
Yeah.
Hockey players have to get special pants because they can't buy off the rack because their asses are too huge and muscular. This is a real problem professional hockey players have in their day-to-day life.
You get special pants because my ass just keeps ripping right through them. Yeah, now, the things are looking real bad, and Jotaro grabs his hat, takes it off, and puts it on top of the TV, and it's kind of blocking Darby's, line of sight to JoJo's face. Joseph's just like, taking your hat off to cover up your face won't help. That's not how Darby's reading your mind or however it's, what's going on here.
He's not seeing your screen through the reflection in your eyeballs. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a ridiculous thing I'm making up, but that is what Joseph says.
Yeah. And JoJo just says, "That's not why I did that. I'm just sweating." And so we get one of the rare times we just see JoJo without the hat.
So, like, we've been talking about, parallels between the two Darbys, but think of in Duel. There have been 2 stand users that have killed Kakyoin and made JoJo take his hat off.
Yeah. JoJo is now trying to do the Darby thing, and he goes like, you know what? I'm going to tell you my next pitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a high outside fastball.
And that's basically the cliffhanger. JoJo is trying to turn the tables, reverse the situation as he's doing his detective work, I guess, as we cut to episode 42, The Miasma of the Void Vanilla Ice Part 1.
I love the name, the title of this next set of episodes.
It's very good.
The Miasma of the Void Vanilla Ice.
When I read that, I feel like the Guilty Gear announcer, actually.
Yeah. Fucking heaven or hell. Vanilla Ice.
We already had hell. We had that was the Pet Shop title.
Right.
So yeah, we are essentially in an episode structure we haven't seen since part 2, which is really going to make itself known after this fight is ended, and we just go straight into the prelude to the next fight. That may or may not involve someone named Vanilla Ice. Stay tuned. We are still where we left off. Very near the start, we just get the secret of this current stand right out of the gate, basically.
Yeah, this is not explained to the cast, but just
but to us, the viewer.
Yeah, Darby thinking to himself. Well, yeah, he pulls out his stand, and we see via his stand's point of view, kind of this weird sort of heat vision filter overlaid on top of JoJo.
But instead of just color shifting like you expect, the world is melting.
Yeah.
Atum sees the world as a Winamp visualizer.
Yeah, pretty much.
There is a shape that is folding in on itself in sort of like metallic blues. Like there's a waterfall of like 2004 cyber aesthetics.
Yeah.
Showering JoJo's face.
Yeah, it looks cool. Atum can peer into people's souls via like a thermal imager. It lets Darby read what the person's soul is thinking, like, so he could just see the truth, no matter what, regardless of what the person's actually saying. But the only thing he can read are answers to yes or no questions.
Yes. I love this power.
Yeah.
It's
great.
So good. An infallible judgment of binary choice is cool as hell, and exactly like that's JoJo's right there. That is it. JoJo's has begun, goddammit.
This is
Here
the real
it is.
JoJo.
It should be really shitty at sports, though.
Yeah.
Because there's way more than 2 possibilities. Like, what if I intend to do this, but I suck at it?
Yeah.
Which is, again, why it's used in, like, digital representations of sports. Now it works. Now it's good again.
We hear Darby just thinking to himself, okay, a high outside fastball, yes or no. And then we see that thermal imaging like overlay again. When he asks these yes or no questions, he both hears JoJo's soul say yes or no, but also in the thermal imaging like overlay, the words in big colorful bubble letters yes or no just flood the screen. And so it's just like, okay, outside high fastball, yes or no, and then you just hear JoJo's soul say yes. It's
incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So that is exactly what JoJo throws, or it seems to be, until the last second when the ball moves, and Atum only gets a bit of it and grounds out to first. Finally, we get something that isn't a strikeout or a home run.
Yeah. And so that's really freaked Darby out, because never before has someone's soul said one thing and then a different thing happens.
So, of course, there are accusations of cheating and tampering, and Darby demands a controller check. Araki really did invent esports. It's all here.
Yep.
If Kakyoin won, he would have stood up, put on his fursuit, and said, "I'm gay."
Yeah. It's we've only so far gotten through the character development that makes Kakyoin confirmed as to be a MILF lover, but he's also a furry. And Voidburgers just came into the room, and she just She's nodding yes. Yeah, sagely nodding yes.
I think she's nodding yes, 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 yes. Because the chanting JoJo Soul does is incredible.
Yeah, it's really
so
good.
excited to either confirm or deny.
Yeah. Like JoJo just says again, I'm gonna pitch another high outside fastball, and yes, 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 yes. Like that's totally what he's gonna throw. He's not lying. His soul is not lying. He throws the pitch again, and it ends up being a different pitch, and this is really pissing Darby off.
Darby's like showing physical signs of stress and strain. Joseph calls him old. Joseph says he looks old.
Yeah, he doesn't look like you don't look like a man in your 20s anymore.
He's having such a bad day, and then a dude born in World War I calls him old.
And Darby goes like, okay, you must be cheating, right? And JoJo's soul just goes, no, 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 no.
I wish JoJo talked like this all the time. I wish this is the only dialogue he had forever.
Yeah.
We get some incredible quotes here from Darby about his commitment to the gamer life, spelled with a Y, and an X somehow. I don't know where it goes.
Yeah.
But I am a video game genius. I can't lose.
Yes. As he's profusely sweating.
And a video game expert is an expert at life.
Yeah.
All he needs is like the FBI don't do drugs screen on a fucking arcade's cabinet.
Yeah. And as Darby is kind of having a little meltdown here about this, JoJo just brings in like the philosophy of his older brother in that it's not cheating if you don't get caught.
So after a little while of this, like Darby is using his Stan's ability to try to play 20 questions for his life, essentially, and figure out how this is working. What edge has JoJo got to break his system, and he can't do it. And so Kakyoin snaps out of the doll and into his body, and Darby's like, no take backsies. I didn't give up. I didn't lose. I'm not fucking owned.
Yeah. It's like only one more pitch is thrown by Jotaro and by Darby, and Jotaro just gets another home run, and that just super fucks him up. And so after Kakyoin's soul is released, we see what was actually happening, and it's so good. Jotaro was not playing the video game for a long while now. It has been Joseph, the gamer grandpa, using Hermit Purple to wrap around the controller and press the buttons. So he was just reading the wrong person's mind.
And so the hat was integral, but in order to just put up a little bit of a DM screen so they could roll dice but behind cover.
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit of occluded vision in order to cover this up. And I love this ending because it's, again, another note on how can we do Darby again but better. You make a meaningful thematic conclusion. It is the victory of a strong family bond over a dysfunctional family, a family relationship in petty jealousies and rivalries. It's good. It's fucking good.
It's really good. And also, him being essentially beaten by his brother's philosophy at playing games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what knocks his soul out of his body isn't so much like losing the game and not knowing how he's starting to lose the game. It's just wheeling in how much he fucking hates his brother and how much his brother hates him.
Yeah, it's really good. And also just like the kind of like the joke punchline to the final defeat of Darby here is really good. Darby is on his knees, like snot running down his nose, like crying, just begging for his life. And he asks JoJo, like, "You're not going to spare me, are you?" And JoJo just goes, "Why don't you just read my mind for that answer?" And, he reads JoJo's mind, and it's just, no, 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 no. And he's just like, "You're going to punch me, aren't you?" "Yes, yes, yes, yes." "Are you going to, are you going to punch me with your left fist?" "No, no, no." "Your right fist?" "No, no, no." "Both fists?" "Yes, yes, yes, yes." "Are you going to do the aura thing?" "Yes, yes, yes." And then he just punches the shit out of him really hard.
He even confirms with Joseph that this is not a bluff. He is going to get his shit wrecked.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
I don't know if I've ever pointed this out, actually, but anytime JoJo specifically is about to kick ass, there is a theme that plays for that. That's just like Jotaro's theme. A lot of electric guitar and also saxophone in parts. This is something going on from part 3 onwards. Every JoJo gets their own unique JoJo's kicking ass theme.
Yes.
JoJo just beats the shit out of Darby and sends him flying, and he flies so far into the sky that he breaks through it. It's just a wall.
We get yet another of the occasional, like, stamps.
Yeah.
With a little bit of narrator talk over him, but this is the end. The end of Darby. And now we feel the break that should have been an episode break. That feeling we haven't really felt since Battle Tendency, as we just check in with Dio and his friend Cool Ice.
Cool Ice. Cool Ice.
The localized name of Vanilla Ice, of course, recalling the 1991 cinema classic Cool as Ice.
I wish Vanilla Ice here was wearing the jacket Vanilla Ice wore in the movie, because it has just like a bunch of words emblazoned on it, but they weren't cool words. It just said like cool and yeah.
If cool is not a cool word, what is a cool word?
I don't know. I guess cool is a cool word.
So Vanilla Ice is our second heart-festooned man in a row. We got a lot of heart stuff going on.
This guy kind of looks like he is from part 2.
Yes.
Because he's pantsless. This is a dude who is buff as hell, wearing no pants. He looks like he's related to the Pillar Men a little bit. Like, hella thick legs.
This is not the first time we've seen him. It's only the first time we've seen him clearly.
Yeah.
Back when we met Enya, before we met Enya, there was another guy. It's that guy.
It's that guy.
Back.
Yeah.
After a long, long time.
Guy who was just crouching really far in the shadows. So yeah, he is there to tell Dio how, you know, people have infiltrated the mansion. Darby's been defeated.
While Dio is reading the largest book I've ever seen.
It's huge. It is huge.
What is this book? We don't see a title. I want to know what's on his summer reading list.
It's the entire collected volumes of Berserk.
You think he's in the Oprah book club? You think he does that?
Vanilla Ice here is presented as being like the most loyal of all of Dio's servants.
Yeah. So Dio's getting this news. The good hero boys have been here for about 10 minutes and they killed my butler. Cool. By the way, I want to invite you to gaze upon my body. This thing that I love to do.
Yeah.
Hey, Whole Horse, check out my thumbs. Hey, Cool Ice, I'm going to part my hair and just let your eyes wash over my rad neck scars.
So yeah, Dio is talking about, like, okay, Darby is working for me and he was a genius, but the reason why he lost is that he wasn't ready to throw away his life for me. And that's why the Joestars and their friends continue to succeed so much, is because they're all willing to die for their cause.
One of them already did.
And this is why they repeatedly, you know, grab victory from the jaws of defeat.
I mentioned that he names all of them by name, even if it takes him a while to remember their names, except Iggy. Iggy is not in the Ride or Die Club.
Yeah.
He's determined, but still not quite that determined.
Yeah. And yeah, he's shown off the scar on his neck, and he's saying, you know, Jonathan Joestar's body is still rejecting me, but I just need the blood of one more person to fully heal. And he specifically wants to drink the blood of a Joestar to finally make this body 100% his. This
detail that it isn't just time, it is active effort by Jonathan, does soften the blow of like the bullshit of he got Jonathan's body, because like Jonathan isn't technically, at least not in a mystic sense, Jonathan has been continuing this fight for 100 fucking years.
Hell yeah, Jonathan Joestar, the big boy.
I like this. This is rad. This is good.
Yeah. Dio is asking Vanilla Ice, you know, hey, are you, you know, willing to die for me? Because that will tell me that, you know, you can actually defeat the Joestars in their party. And so Vanilla Ice, who is already knelt by a big old vase, just goes like, oh yeah, totally. And he brings out his stand, which kind of looks like Skeletor, sort of.
He karate chops his own goddamn head off.
Yeah, he chops his head off.
And in a show that lets me say that sentence twice?
Yeah.
You think Dio's getting nostalgic watching Vanilla Ice do
man. This? Yeah, Dio's got a thing like, oh man, I remember when I did that. Good times.
Oh, the impetuous days of youth when I karate chopped my own goddamn head off.
Vanilla Ice chopped his own head off and made sure that so that when he dies, he's already holding onto this big jug so that his blood will pour into it so that Dio can drink it and become whole. But Dio goes like, okay, wow, damn, you really do mean it that you're willing to die for me. Well, I can't have you doing that.
The quote is, "You beheaded yourself. Most splendid."
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Dio. Dio's so good.
Yeah. And so he decides that, okay, Vanilla Ice, you're such a loyal servant, I can't accept this blood.
Yeah.
So instead, I'm going to heal you instead.
See, he's not all bad. He's a blood donor. He cuts open his wrist and pours blood into Vanilla Ice, resurrecting him.
Yep. His head just reattaches to his body, and he's all good. It almost feels like Vanilla Ice has died and been revived by Dio once before, because the way he just gets up and goes like, oh, yeah, okay. Dio just says, okay, go kill everybody for me, please. And Vanilla Ice is ready to throw down. Like, Stardust Crusaders has a lot of wild shit in it, but I feel like Stardust Crusaders doesn't go to the same level to make you just go like, what the fuck? The way part 2 did. But the way his stand does shit here, the first time I watched it made me go, what the fuck?
This stand is metal as fuck. I love it. It's cool as shit. I understand nothing. I don't understand a goddamn thing about how this stand works.
Oh, man.
This stand is like Heavy Metal Magazine and a little bit of Looney Tunes put together.
Yeah. Like... This is the Vor stand. The inside of its mouth is very strangely well detailed. But yeah, Vanilla Ice just pops out his stand. The stand does a cool, like, loop-de-loo animation and then immediately gets real big and opens its very detailed mouth and just gulps down Vanilla Ice, swallows him whole.
Then he's a little Ouroboros.
He just, a ton of spit and drool starts shooting out of his mouth. Then he just grabs his legs and chomps down on himself and just eats himself inside out and disappears. And then a big hole appears in the Dio's door. And all of this happens so fast. It's hard to process. And Dio just goes like, oh, don't worry about the hole in the door. Your stand can vanish from this dimension.
So now we finally check in with the other half of the group. Like, unlike most party splits, during the Derby fight, we never really got cutaways back to the doorway. So now we're finally rejoining them. So I want to talk about some stuff from when we left that I didn't mention. Specifically, when Polnareff reached out toward the disappearing hole that the JoJo boys fell into. The perspective on his hand feels so... It's huge, but his arm and shoulder are not. It feels like he is holding a 3-foot-tall hand prop.
Yeah.
It is very...
One of those quick shots where he goes way off model.
It is very much the big key from Torque.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, the big key from Torque. I love it.
Oh, no, that's about it.
So yeah, they're still waiting outside the mansion. About 10 minutes has passed, and before they do anything, Avdol is bringing up to Polnareff and Iggy, like, hey, shit's getting real serious. If either of you get mortally wounded on the way to fighting Dio, I am not going to save you. This goal is too important.
That's not the first thing he says. The first thing he says is, it's been 2 minutes, we have our instructions, but I'm not going to follow them. We need to rescue them. They're too important to leave behind.
Right.
On the other hand, you are not. I do not extend that same kindness to you or the dog, and you better not fucking extend it to me.
Yep. He's just saying we cannot let ourselves get killed trying to save each other. Only the Joestars are important here and killing Dio. Polnareff, hearing this, walks over to Avdol and goes like, I fucking get it, bro. And they do like a big old like bro handshake and says like, if we all get here out of here alive, Avdol, you got to treat all of us to dinner.
And that seems like a fair deal to him. And I love that we are like really paying off the Avdol Polnareff relationship, OTP, hell yes. Their first fight really felt like heavy duty flirting, but now we're into like the big manly feelings of camaraderie and So they do enter and not, commit arson. And Silver Chariot pops out and starts tapping stones on the ground. He's like treating this like a Gygax bullshit dungeon, and he is the 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
While Polnareff is like dancing from like the left wall to the right wall, the left wall, the right wall, finding cover and going like step at a time.
Because this is just an absurdly long, straight hallway. They eventually reach a point where it branches off into a bigger chamber. And it's clearly just like some big-ass evil stand-based illusion because it's just a huge labyrinth.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're all thinking like, this is like some big bullshit dungeon with tons of traps. This is going to be super dangerous. And so, instead of just walking in blindly, Avdol pulls out a brand new power.
He has magic compass fire.
Yeah, he has just a big floating set of flames that go out in 6 directions. It detects basically everything within a 15-meter radius.
It detects any sort of life signs, including cutaneous respiration, which is a thing I did not know. That means breathing through your skin.
Yeah.
So he could find certain like bugs and fish. And did you know that up to 12% of the carbon dioxide exhaled, so to speak, from a bat's body is instead filtered out through their wing skin?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's neat.
That's cutaneous respiration right there.
Huh. All right.
But yeah, also stand energies, anything that could possibly be used to get them, it'll know where it is. And so it searches like the 4 cardinal directions and also up and down. That's why it's 6-lobed.
And so this thing is floating a little bit forward. They're very slowly going down some stairs, and 2 of the flames, like to the left and forward, both start sparking and pointing in a certain direction.
This is a pretty useful power you got, Avdol. This could have come in real handy.
This is a cool ass power. I just wish it was a thing that was established so it could have been used earlier, because it's kind of cool.
He was dead during the sun fight.
It's true.
That one's not his fault.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's a hella useful sounding power. Yeah, no one's there where it's pointing, but there's a bunch of just stone pillars there. And Iggy he's able to sniff something out, and so he just calls out the fool, slashes at a random pillar, and then a little man shoots out of the pillar.
A little man with a big bloody gash across his torso.
A little man who kind of sort of looks like he's wearing the Saiyan training armor with the big shoulder pauldrons.
And the narrator announces his name, Billie Jean. His fate, instant defeat.
Yeah.
Billie Jean is a localized name for Kenny G.
Yeah. So, yeah, the illusion, the labyrinth, immediately dissipates. They very quickly handled this guy just hiding in a stone pillar.
This is how the sun would have gone if Polnareff if Avdol weren't dead.
Yeah, they just would have gotten him immediately.
They would have killed him at the car dealership. That's it. It's over.
You know, that happens. Phew, thank God. The flames aren't detecting anything anymore. We are safe. Avdol's saying this while he's kind of like leaning with one hand on a stone pillar. He looks over to the pillar, and right by his hand is a whole bunch of writing etched into it, which says, and the music gets real fucking serious real quick here, and it just says, "He who reads this carving and turns it back shall ...
Because his hand is covering up the final words.
Yeah, he moves his thumb out of the way, and it just says, "Die!"
And so Avdol, seeing this, fearing what it might mean, overcome with like, this is clearly a trap, but he must see the nature of the trap. Yeah. He does go against the warning and turn behind him. And what does he see but this freak show stand that ate its own feet? Yeah,
it's still mostly inside out, but it pulls one of its arms out of its mouth. Avdol is freaking the fuck out. Like, what the fuck is this thing? How could Iggy not smell it? How could my stand powers not detect it?
And so he shouts for his companions to run, and he lunges at Polnareff and shoves him out of the way. He breaks his own rules.
He breaks his own
rules because his bond of powerful manly feelings is too strong.
Yep. He punches both Polnareff and Iggy out of the way. He sends them flying. Avdol turns back around as this fucking freak show stand approaches him, and you get a close-up of Avdol's terrified face, and then the next shot is Avdol's gone except for his forearms, which are just floating midair.
Yeah, cut off just above the elbow, both of them, and as they clutter to the ground.
Smoking, sizzling where they've been cut off.
Maybe this guy should just eat Dio and take over. Like, he seems like final boss material. Hell yes.
Yeah.
This is fucked up.
Yeah.
He's scary as shit. I don't like this guy.
This is a scary ass stand. And
one more reason not to like Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
You know who I think sings Vanilla Ice's songs better? Rob Van Winkle. Nobody gives that guy any credit.
And so Polnareff is freaking out. Iggy's freaking out. They're both like, breathing heavily, sweating, shouting for Avdol. Avdol, like, where did he go? Where are you? Why couldn't we detect this fucking guy? They just keep shouting for Avdol as Vanilla Ice, his stand, slowly starts to unfold itself from its mouth and just says, like, yo, Avdol's dead. I've disintegrated him. I sent him to another dimension where nothing can return from. And then he just crams
you want to talk about DBZ parallels.
Oh, yeah. And he just crams Avdol's arms down his stand's mouth, and they just, like, bzoip, just disappear. Vanilla Ice, you can see that he's just hiding within his stand, and just his face is poking out from within his stand's face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Polnareff freaking the fuck out, and he just shouts, Avdol can't be dead. You are lying to me, and that's the cliffhanger.
That's it.
Gets fucking serious.
And that's why Vanilla Ice gets top billing in what could have been called Darby the Younger Part 3.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck, man? What the fuck,
right?
Man?
And that's why, like, when I was bringing up, like, okay, there is a 2-parter. We usually only do 2, but maybe we need to do 3. But either way, we're getting a big fucking cliffhanger.
I mean, this is a much cooler cliffhanger than, what do you mean you can play baseball?
Yeah. Oh, that's a baseball?
Oh. He took his hat off, the end. Or Avdol's fucking dead again.
Yeah, what's the fuck's happening? Yeah, this...
I think this death is permanent because we are too late in the game for take-backsies. And we are trying to, like, put over the danger and the dread. But it does feel kind of like, I saw him die before. It doesn't land as hard as it should for that reason.
Right, yeah.
And also that it's just so sudden.
Yeah, right?
That's part of what makes it cool, but that's part of what makes it a little flat. Because, like, the build-up to the death is all in, honestly, before they cross the threshold and enter the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the real build-up for the death is. And then you have this sort of mood-interrupting, oh, this guy's named Billie Jean and he's dead. The end. Move on.
Yeah. It almost kind of feels like they're supposed to, like, have that easy stand fight win to be like a false sense of security or something, but yeah, I both like what happens here, but also, yeah, because Avdol has died once before, it's just like, well, I don't entirely buy it. But yeah, I don't know. It both works and doesn't work. It's weird.
The degree to which it works or doesn't work could easily change if they had split the episode. If this was the midpoint and then whatever we're going to talk about next week happens a little while and like it's more of a cohesive unit.
Mm-hmm.
Because as it is now, Avdol's death is a stakes-raising thing turn on next week instead of an event unto itself that deserves respect and consideration.
Yeah. I feel like these 3 episodes are super duper good. Really solid.
Yes.
I do like the introduction of Vanilla Ice a lot. His stand is cool as shit and feels like even before they really explain what exactly it does in the actual fight next time, they establish very quickly that his stand seems really fucking threatening.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Both from the fact that his stand is just a fucking freak and also, wow, he seems absurdly overpowered.
There's something so very JoJo's Bizarre Adventure about the way the Darby the Younger fight feels so much like self-parody at times, but then just blast through it by just really committing, like, no, this is the real shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for as much as I like the first Darby one, I think I prefer the second one just because it builds off it in a really fun way, and also just all the video game shit is really funny to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's just F-Zero and a baseball game.
But with incredibly forward-thinking capabilities of what a baseball game could be in the future.
Yeah. And so this is something that happens a couple times in later parts of JoJo. There's sometimes in later parts where they basically straight up name drop or show some type of actual real world like intellectual property in it. And those parts are definitely going to have to be changed to something fake for when they get adapted to the anime. But for this one, no. Like in the manga, it's straight up just, oh, that's a baseball and F Mega. It wasn't like, oh, this was F-Zero and we had to tweak it a little bit. Like these were just fake video games for the get-go. The time Jotaro brings up in a previous episode that he watches Columbo, did they have to run that by anybody? Is it okay to just name drop Columbo?
I hope they asked NBC Universal because that's a good like story, but I feel like they didn't because they felt like they didn't have to.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you can just mention a thing and get away with it. That's fine, right?
Yeah, if you just
imagine the world if that isn't fine.
Right? Some corporations or families or whatever that, definitely own the rights to things where they're really fucking picky about even like naming shit.
Yeah.
Because they're just so highly controlling. I can't imagine Columbo is one of those things. But
it certainly paints Columbo in a positive light.
Yeah.
And as a media property, it's not like I met Columbo. that you probably would have to ask.
Yeah. When I first read and watched Stardust Crusaders, and it's just like Jotaro brings up watching Columbo, I was just like, oh, huh, that's weird. And I never looked deeper into it. And it wasn't until like the like Columbo resurgence I've been seeing on Twitter for the last month or two that I realized that like, oh, wait, Columbo was really popular in Japan too.
Yeah. Like Columbo is in Detective Conan, I think.
Detective Conan or Lupin the Third, I think.
Or both.
Or both? Yeah.
Probably both. There's enough of both of those things for Columbo to be in both of them.
Yeah, there was like a new party member added to one of the Final Fantasy gacha games that's just Columbo with the name filed off. Like, yeah. I don't know. It's always fun to learn which random Western pop culture things got popular in Japan.
But on the other hand, I know there's like an out of context panel that I've seen from part 6, I think, with Great Mazinger and Tetsujin 28. And like, I don't think that, oh boy.
There is, from the very little I know about part 6, there is a big thing that I don't know how they're going to get around it in the anime. I guess they're just going to have to make up a fake ass like bootleg version of actual real Mickey Mouse. This isn't like Mickey Mouse is in the background. This is like Mickey Mouse is in the fucking forefront of a part of the story.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Like, you're going to get in hella trouble. Because like there was some interview for when they showed up the Part 6 trailer with like their press event, they had like the director of the anime on answering some questions. They were talking about, oh, how are you going to adapt the stands for this part? And he vaguely said, well, there's a couple stands that we literally cannot conceptually visualize with animation, and I think it might be the Mickey Mouse one he's talking about.
I mean, there's enough fake Mickey Mouses for that reason in media that I wonder if you couldn't talk to one of those people if you wanted to really get like deep cuts on everybody.
Yeah. Would Disney care nearly as much if you used Oswald or whatever instead?
Yes, they absolutely would.
Yeah, they would. Okay.
They have been flogging Oswald ever since like they decided there was a market for it.
Okay.
And since they could because of the whole right situation that he represents. But
yeah. But anyways, it's from here on out. Everything that happens with Stardust Crusaders here is great. It gets really high stakes. It gets really intense.
One of them died.
Yeah, one of them fucking died, man. Fucking taken out in one hit. Like,
got sent to another dimension. It's a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's also why I'm not like mourning Avdol. Like, you can come back from a dimension.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry about your arms, but who says it's a one-way street?
Look, Joseph's already got a robot hand. I'm sure by this point, the Speedwagon Foundation could give you a whole robot body if you needed it. Like,
Goku did it several times.
Goku does it all the time. Goku coming back from heaven is basically just his work commute now.
And he's always right on time.
Yep. Right when you need him.
We'll be back again next week with another 3 episodes. We're going to finish off the Vanilla Ice titled episodes and get into one that has Dio's name in the title.
Ooh.
What does that mean for what's in it? I don't know. I don't have a reasonable guess anymore after this past episode, going back to battle tendency style splits.
Yeah. It's just going to get crazy real quick. I'm excited.
Please help us build up to our big fiery finale, the Punch Ghost conclusion of Stardust Crusaders. Share this around with your friends or your enemies who think deserve a little entertainment in their lives. 5-star ratings on iTunes go a long way toward both making the show more discoverable and winning love for my father. 2 very important things.
And yeah, by this point, definitely by the point this episode's up, I will finally fucking get off my ass and get this up on Spotify or whatever too. So we'll be there as well as the usual stuff. And yeah, just fucking share it with people. I have gotten at least one new person to, well, not I, my girlfriend did. A person who doesn't even watch anime is watching JoJo now, and they're enjoying it. So like, pitch it to anybody. If you just find the right words, you can get anybody to watch JoJo. You just got to find the right out of context thing.
All of the words are in JoJo. I think.
Yeah.
It's got them all. It's got void. It's got chicken. It's got all the words.
There's a lot of poop.
There's a lot of... If you got any poop fans in your life, you know where to send them.
Got a baby in your life, just show them the evil baby. They'll be all about that, I bet.
I see myself in this character with vampire fangs.
I aspire to be like this evil baby.
Now that's a closing line. To be continued.
See you later, everybody.